on my way back from Mohawk, you know, I did a video pulling out a Mohawk, as I generally do, and I didn't really like it, right? As I was talking my way through the race and the week and what took place in the class, a number of things occurred to me that I didn't touch on. You know, first and foremost, I thought that I had Patrick in the right place, right? Didn't want to be in a rush out of the gate, didn't want to have him blow up in the first turn. I wanted to get the horse away in good cover, which I did behind the 3 and 4, the horses to beat in that class. And you guys saw what had happened. 3 moved first over, cleared. The 4 cleared. Oh no. Oh dear God. Now we went from a good trip to a nightmare, all in the blink of an eye. But that's racing. Rewind to last week, to during the week. You know, LD's Patrick, clearly I had told everybody how well he trained down, how impressed I was with the horse, how he was coming back good, and then he makes a break on James, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this horse, I'll go with him. I could see he was a little shaky, but still felt like he had lots of speed. Then I raced him his first start, he blew up for no reason. Seemingly no reason. Changed his shoes behind, we talked about that. I spoke to Jason for a bit, the blacksmith, the vet. I'm trying to get a handle on what I saw in the race and how it could equate to that particular horse. What did I see that I'm missing? We had the vet go over LD's Patrick again. She goes, Anthony, I can't really find a whole lot. Maybe his lower hocks bother him a little bit. He is a trotter. So, trotters, especially, when you start seeing them get sore, a little tight over their back, more times it's their hocks. And a lot of the times when they get sore in their hocks, it's from their feet. So, usually it goes feet, hocks, back. We'll sprinkle in some knees from now and again. So, usually when you start seeing that back stiffen up, it's secondary, right? And I saw that. I felt like I saw that last week in the horse. So we went ahead. Angelica went over the horse. Jason called me, said, yeah, Angelica did the horse's lower hocks and felt that they were hurting him quite a bit. Should be a little bit better. That doesn't mean he will be, right? We had changed his shoes from a steel to an aluminum alloy behind. I wasn't super happy. You start putting aluminum shoes on trotters behind, that's when they can start getting sore in their hocks. So lo and behold, we changed his shoes to something a little more caustic. Let's see, a little more hard on his hocks. And then lo and behold, just as we did that, we found that his hocks were bothering him a little bit. So a little counterintuitive overall, but that doesn't mean that it will be. Just because aluminum shoes do bother horses from time to time doesn't mean they will, right? And just because he felt tight in his lower hocks doesn't mean that that's the key. And that's the tricky part about racing horses is, although you think you see a clear line of sight of what is bothering a horse and you've now fixed it, it doesn't mean the results are going to show up on the track. And that's what is the frustrating part of horse racing. So we went to an aluminum alloy behind. We did do his lower hocks, I believe. Worked on his feet all week. Cindy did a great job. I had said to Jason, maybe we'll put toe weights on this horse just to try and help him, anchor him a bit. We got to get him back on track. Put him back in the class. Out comes the sheet. The Zolt horse and the Encore horse. 2 salty horses right now. One's on fire and pushing through the classes, much like we did last year with Patrick. The other one's had a strong year racing against the likes of Renegade Gypsy and Resolute Bay and Red Overbach. A talented animal. Makes breaks, but when he's on his game and he's fluid, got some speed. Now, if Patrick had been racing better and consistent and not making breaks, I fill the hole in Scotty. I put him in a tough spot. Maybe he makes a break. Maybe he has to continue on. But the race is totally different. But I wanted to be a little more conservative tonight. I want a flat line on Patrick, right? I don't want any more question marks. And I want the questions I had from last week answered. Is he better? Was it his hocks? Do the shoes help? Yes, yes, yes. Much better tonight. He's just not ready. Will he ever be? I hope so. He's not ready tonight to trot in 53, November. 2 starts in when 2 of his last 3 starts, lines or breaks. Not ready to come first over and tackle the likes of War Result. He's just not. But we can fix that. We don't have to have Patrick in there. We can race LD's Patrick wherever we want. LD's Patrick owes us nothing. Put him in a 35 if I want. Can put him in, he'll probably go in the numbers 2 or 4,000 the last 4 next start. There'll be no war results in there. I can assure you of that. Now, there might be somebody dropping in, but he will be also. And James came up to me after and said, do you like him? Is he better like that? I said, way better. Doesn't need the toe weights. Can probably let his hobbles out a little bit. We'll let his hobbles out one hole. Take those toe weights off him. As I said to him, I said to Jason, he doesn't need those toe weights anymore. He only needed them for a start. I just wanted to get him around. You could see him kind of working in the hobbles, but he never put a step in. And maybe you thought you saw a step, but sitting behind him, there was never a concerning moment. That's not true. There's a huge concern when I saw what was about to take place down the backstretch. But in his gait, there was never a concerning moment. So I don't know. He must have trotted 55 tonight, I assume. And he raced very, very good. Given, you know, playing the hand we were dealt, yeah, we got thumped. But it just looked like the proper path as the race started. Follow the 3 and or the 4. Get towed up into the race. If he's good, great. Never dawned on me that the 3 would clear, the 4 would clear, and I'd be left first over. Anyway, the takeaway from tonight was Eldie's Patrick was good. Moving forward, we can do whatever we want with him. First things first, get him in non-winners or whatever he fits, where he can do some good. And then evaluate every week, reevaluate. How was he this week? Moving into next week, how is he now? We can do whatever we want with him. He doesn't owe us a dime. So the biggest takeaway is he appears to be fixed. Now, I don't want to see him go make a break next week. We are going to remove some of the hardware we had on him, the toe weights, let his hobbles out a little bit, because he doesn't need them now. But at the same token, be aware that he isn't far from those X's on his line. The further we get from them, start after start after start, then we can start letting his hobbles out a little bit more, maybe. Putting those steel shoes back on him, because those aluminums, I can't help but think they're going to bother him at some point. Just little tiny things, but tonight he was good. Just ran into a bit of a buzzsaw in a tough spot. Not where I wanted to be. Where I wanted to be ended up exactly where I didn't want to be. But again, that's racing. So, happy with Patrick tonight. I know that Arch was scratched tonight. It's not a big deal. Should be in to go next week. And then we have a ton of horses in this weekend. Can't wait to see Sintra. Going to be sitting somewhere, hopefully having a beer with my father and my wife and watching our boy Sintra race. A number of horses in Monday, and I appreciate the fact that I'm kind of tough. You guys know it's my job, right? When I saw Sailor in that class, the first call I made was to Dominic. Hey, what's going on? Why is he in this class? He said, Anthony, he sent me the texts. There was a bit of a mix-up now, and I'll explain it quite simply to everybody. So the race office was technically right, and Dominic was right also. And it was nice of them to do the right thing and scratch the horse judges. That was the race office tonight. So I appreciate that. I'm hard on them when I need to be, but call a spade a spade. They did the right thing, and I appreciate it. What had happened was when Dominic entered in condition number 8, which he did, which is a non-winners of 5,000 last, whatever, 3, 4, 5, optional 35 claimer. Well, he didn't fit it on money. But on the program to enter in that class, there's nowhere to check, put him in for the claimer. Now, he could have wrote it in the notes, I suppose, but it should be a little clearer. Do you want him in for the condition? If not in for the condition, claimer. Check, yes. And that's not the race office's fault, and it's not Dominic's fault. He thought that they would understand what he was trying to do, and they thought that he put him in the wrong class. So they moved him to the non-winners of 10 where he belonged, which was too tight. It's too tough. Can't be in there. So the right thing was done. So I appreciate that very much so. So Sailor will get a judge's scratch. He can be entered in right away. So hopefully we can get him back in. I don't know if that class is written back Thursday. I hope it is, in which case we'll get him back in Thursday. So that's the plan now. I'm heading to Harrisburg tomorrow. Now we're going to head to Ohio tomorrow. Amy and I and my father. I'm going to try and get you guys some videos. Now they won't be the track. I couldn't do them. But we'll get some videos on the phone. You guys will be able to see the horses scooting along a little bit. Really excited to do it. I had a lot of fun on Wednesday, and Amy hasn't got to see these horses yet. And this is the most fun is this time of year. That's not true. Buying them, breaking them. I love doing that, but seeing them progress is so exciting. And especially those first steps, right? Those first baby steps, so to speak, where you start to see them understand that they can go fast and try to, and you're like, easy now, you know. it's a real cool feeling, right? It's very gratifying is what it is. So we'll be over there tomorrow going with all the or Saturday going with all the babies. And then Saturday evening we will be in Harrisburg. Bright and early start Sunday for the videos. Got 3 shows coming up for you guys on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday. It's going to be a little different. One, it's only 3 shows. We're not going to do the second book because Curtis has to go home, and really that's a mixed bag on day 4. Not really a ton of what we're looking at. Day 5, the mixed part. Now, I've talked to a number of people about filling up the buckets. I'm going to send out some emails tonight and tomorrow. I would like to see that partnership B sold out. So if you're on the fence, if you're thinking, I might, financially speaking, if you're on the fence, don't do it. But if you're on the fence because you don't really know, realistically what's going to go in that partnership is 3 horses, I would suspect, for $100,000. I doubt there'll be 4. There'll be 3 horses likely go in that partnership. I would say at least 1 or 2 of them will be Pennsylvania trotting fillies. And we'll see maybe all 3. I don't know. I know what we are looking for. Ontario trotting colts, Pennsylvania trotting fillies. Those are our 2 on our wish list. Aside from that, it's always value anyway, but value after that. And then we get that a premium horse, so to speak, which never really worries me. I always look at the people messaging me after we buy one of those horses, and we could have sold Punch the Clock twice over if we wanted to. So that second partnership, I would like to get that sold out. And this obviously leads to what we'll talk about as we get into Harrisburg a little bit more, the mixed sale. Yes, we just sold a number of horses. Some of them we were going to be turning out. Some of them we were going to be moving on. But we do want to replace those horses. And as I look through that mixed catalog, we won't be able to get a lot of those horses, but wouldn't it be cool to buy another Locatelli? Right? Find another Kings County. Now, that has to come with a disclaimer. We could get a dud also. So you have to understand that. It doesn't matter how much you pay for them. If they go backwards, they go backwards. We were very fortunate in the aforementioned 2 horses that we bought. We would like to get a quality horse. I would like to get another open pacer or open trotter. And yes, our horses are kind of tripping over one another right now, and I'm very aware of that. I've talked to a number of my friends and clients about that, but that won't always be the case, right? I want to believe that maybe we're just a little early to the winter party. Right, we'll see how that plays out. One way or another, this will all shake out in different ways. If we have to send some other places, we will. But at the end of the day, we still want to, and we still have to have quality horses in our barn. So, we are looking at the mixed sale. Are we going to put together a partnership for the mixed portion? One step at a time. So, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm sure we got some horses qualifying or schooling. I'll reach out to a lot of people about the partnership, that partnership B. Now, if you're one of those people I will be reaching out to, do me a favor. Just buy into it if you want into it, because it's going to be difficult for me. This is a tight time of year for me, and it's going to be really difficult for me to be bidding on the B partnership if half of it or the better portion of half of it is still left unspoken for. So, with that, didn't get money. Didn't make a break. Looks like he's ready to do some damage. James will be driving LD's Patrick down a class next week. Think we got him right now. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Hope you had a great day. It was a nice day here. And I hope it's a great weekend. Big Fred's on the way. Can't wait. Take care.